We're going to go ahead and get this party started, right? We're going to get this party started. It is now 8:02 Central Standard Time. So we are going to press on because guess what? It's Monday. So welcome to Real Resilient Conversations, where I am your host, Quita Quee, where we come to give you crazy topics in a way to try and show you how to become more realistic in your everyday lives. So if it is your first time, I come to tell you, hello. Hello. I hope that something that is said today finds a way into your lives, into your hearts, in order to gravitate towards making you a better you. I'm not trying to change you, just trying to figure out ways on how we can become more resilient to become a better you overall. So, I am hot. Not like, ooh, hot, but I'm hot. So if it is your first time, like I said, welcome. If it is your second time, welcome back, my Real Resilient Warriors. Woo woo, hey. Make sure you take the time out to like, subscribe, and share. I definitely want to make sure that you don't miss out on any opportunity to get some of these real resilient love, all right? So, if you have not learned about us, guess what? Guess what today's topic is going to be? Press and seal. You heard it. Press and seal. I know y'all like, what in the world? So, this is your opportunity, because y'all that been rocking with me for a little while. You know how we do. This is your opportunity to kind of tell me what you think today's topic is going to be about. When you heard the topic press and seal, what did you think today's topic was going to be about? I'm kind of curious to see. So I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes while y'all are jogging your memory, trying to type it up so I don't skip over it too fast. I still give you the opportunity to share your thoughts before I jump in there and start giving away answers, you know, because I like to give away answers. All right. Couple more minutes. Well, actually, a couple more seconds. Couple more seconds. Thank y'all for joining. Hello to you all that just joined in. Welcome. Right now, what we're doing is putting in the chat what you thought today's topic was going to be. Since today's topic is press and seal, what do you think that means in reference to real resilient conversations? What do you think press and seal has to do with real resilient conversations? All right. We're going to do this in 5, 4, 3, 3.5, 2. All right. So let's just jump right into it. Let's look at the obvious elephant in the room. Let's take this one bite at a time. Of course, we're going to talk about the product that we can buy at the grocery store, but not necessarily the product itself in its entirety, but we are going to utilize it in an effort to kind of gradually show us how we can use press and seal to get to where we want to be with the idea of resiliency. So, let me see a show of hands in the chat. How many people are usually glad to go through everything that you're going through in life? I'm going to just keep my hand down, because I done been through rape, molestation, I've been through abuse, neglect, I've had fibromyalgia, I got all kind of medical conditions. As a matter of fact, I go to the doctor tomorrow for an ultrasound for something else. So there's always something. So how many people in the chat say that they are glad to be going through everything that they're going through? I'm glad I don't see anybody's hand up in the chat. That is absolutely true. We do not, cannot, should not. We don't have the opportunity to showcase, how can I put this? We want to be better. We want to be more. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Facebook, I'm going to switch you over, okay? So hang tight with me. Well, nope, you still there. All right, well, we're going to just press on. I don't know what's going on with you, but we're going to press on. So because we're usually not We're not happy with the things. We're not glad about the things that we have to go through. However, if we are honest with ourselves, we usually don't become glad about that thing until we come to a full understanding and we realize it's not just about us, but it is to help our future, our children's children, our cousin, our sister, our brother, our aunts, our uncles, our family, our friends, right? That thing that we had to go through in order for us to gain a better understanding of life itself or where we are supposed to be going in life, right? So the opportunity for us to look at areas that we should be glad in, we're not always glad in. We are usually, hey, Sister Sandra, we're usually not glad to be going through the craziness that we're going through, right? Until we finally come to appreciate and understand why we had to go through it in order for us to get to where we needed to be in our life, right? So it may be further on down the line that our children and our children's children are ever so grateful for the sacrifices and the things that we had to go through in order for them to have a better life. Right? How many of us have grown up in poverty? You had less than, you grew up in some form or fashion of poverty, right? So because of that, you wanted to make sacrifices so that your children and your children's children wouldn't have to go through those same sacrifices that you had to endure as a child. If you think about the things that we've gone through as a child, are we glad that we went through them? No, but did it make us appreciate the things that we have now even the more? Versus if we had never went through that. If we had everything then, just like a child, if you give them everything they want, whenever they want it, however they want it, at what point are they still appreciative whenever you give them something, whenever a gift is to come? They are not appreciative. Matter of fact, they take the time to kind of like be like, oh, well, you should have gave it to me faster. Now they have become conditioned into feeling like they have earned that and that it should have been given to them at a sooner rate, instead of being glad that the opportunity has even presented itself in order to get it to them. So the spirit of entitlement is so strong now. So the opportunity for them to be glad about receiving any type of trial or tribulation is not there. And they have not taken the time out to really understand the opportunity to grow from it. All right. So number 2, let's break down that glad press and seal. So number 2 being, or the second part to it being press. So whenever you're thinking about press in reference to press and seal, hey, Sister Deborah, in reference to press and seal, how does the word press mean anything when it comes to resiliency? What do y'all think? Let me see it in the chat what you think resiliency and the word press has to do with each other. How do they marry one another? Let me give y'all a couple seconds. And while you are typing that in, I just want to throw it out here too. What type of things are required to be pressed in order for it to be put into motion? So what type of things have to be pressed in order to be put into motion? Because everything can't happen at the same time, right? Everything does not happen at the same time. There are some things that require a pressing in order for it to get to where it needs to be, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. All right, one word that comes to mind, she says perseverance. Absolutely. Right? You have to press in order for it to be set into motion. You have to persevere. You got to press forward. You got to press through some things, right? If a door was a push-only door, right? If you try to pull the door, right? Just like if you try to pull certain people, is that really going to get you anywhere? Absolutely not. So if you're thinking about things that you have to push and you have to press forward, very good, thank you. Anything that you have to press forward, you talk about carts, gas pedal, brake pedal, what else? The iron in order to get those wrinkles out. This is why I had to change my outfit 3 times, y'all, because I was like, I ain't got time to iron. That ain't gonna happen. weights in order to build up those muscles, right? We have to press, right? Your shoulder press, your leg press, right? Anytime that you, in order to get somewhere, there's just some things that won't budge. Exactly. If you try and push a wall, do you think it's going to move? No. It's not going nowhere. You going to move before the bricks move, right? Before the wall moves. So you got to think about when it's time to press, in order to in order to get to an effort of going somewhere, it has to be a trigger, or it has to be something that is set in motion in order to get somewhere. So in order for us to press something, or push something, the pressing has to begin. In order for me to get there, I have to initiate the authority that I have to push something to get somewhere. So it's usually a trigger. It's usually the initial thing that says, okay, now I have to move. Now I have to go. Now I have to make a conscious decision to do something if I want this to move, right? So let's look at seal real quick. Number 3, the third part of that glad, press, and seal would be the actual word seal. So whenever you think of this word seal, not the animal, y'all, what do you think of when you hear the word seal? All right, Sister Deborah, she said with a message, you have to press into them, a massage, With the massage, you have to press into them muscles to work out the stiffness and loosen them up. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so when we're looking at the word seal, like I said, not the animal, but when we are trying to seal something, you seal things like what? Envelopes. You want to cover something. Very good. Very good. Thank you. You want to cover something. You want to take the time to, let me give y'all the dictionary version. So the dictionary version is something like, to close off something or someone entirely, so that way it doesn't come out or it doesn't get in. So at some point, right closure, you are sealing it, you are protecting it, you are cutting it off or sealing it in so that there is nothing else that can get into or get out of whatever you make your barriers, right? Because barriers are important. We talked about that before. So if you do not have your barriers in place, you do not have your seal of the area that you have to protect, what happens, right? If it's not tight and right, if it's not covered, it's not tight and very good. Thank you. Look at you, girl. You're getting it up here too. If it is not closed off, it is not sealed off, it's not tightened down completely, right? When you close a jar, you sealing it. You doing that so that you don't do what? You don't leak anything, right? And another way to look at a seal is usually like a stamp of approval, that you put your seal on it, right? When you're talking about a seal, it is about making an impression. And what type of impression are you making when you are talking about a seal, right? You talk, okay, there you go. She said a vacuum seal container airtight. You want to have that thing airtight. When you have an airtight seal, you're not letting nobody come in there. You're not letting nothing come in there. It is all, wherever your barriers are, right? That's where it stops. This is where the buck stops. So when you're talking about, even on a spiritual level, how we can break down barriers and walls, and then at some point we have to say, this is where the buck stops. This is where the seal is. Nothing will get past here, because guess what we're doing? We're breaking generational curses. So now there is nothing that will get into this next generation, because I have taken the time out. I have fasted and prayed in order to stop it, and it stops here, right? Or family diseases. Everybody has diabetes. Everybody got hypertension. Everybody is obese. Whatever it might be. Right? Everybody is super skinny. Nobody wears makeup. Whatever it might be. Everybody's poor. You say, this is where the barrier, it stops here. right? We will be a family of wealth. We will be a family of health. We will be a family of deliverance. We will be a family, whatever it might be, right? We are taking the time out to put that seal around the things that we must protect in order to save those things and protect those things from the things of the outside, or we need to protect the outside from the things that are within, because the things that are within sometimes are the things that's dangerous, right? So what type of impression are you leaving for others or even for yourself? Think about it. You are sealing off. So are you sealing off because you are afraid to let people in? Are you sealing off to protect a dream, a vision, a goal, a hobby, a project? Or are you protecting it? You're not asking for help because other people have hurt you before, so you seal yourself off from everybody else. Are you protecting, or are you sealing yourself off because you want to hold on to the very joy that you have? So you're not letting nobody that's going to come and be your joy stealer or whatever that might be. What are you protecting? What are you sealing off? What are you leaving as an impression, as your stamp of who you are? Think about that. All right. So shoot, let's talk about this. What would happen if we put all three together? If we put being glad, if we put pressing, and we put the seal all together, what do you think we'll get? Y'all let me know in the chat. What do you think you will get if you put the glad, the press, and the seal all together when it comes in terms of resiliency? Where do you think that would put you? What would that do for you? In the chat, let me know. Let me know what you think. And the reason I'm asking is because there's a method to my madness always. As a matter of fact, the company itself also says that they are a multi-purpose sealing wrap. And I was like, oh, I kind of knew that. You know, a lot of people, if you look at DIYs, they use press and seal in order to preserve the use of whatever they're using. So if you've seen the advertisement for today, the video was in one of the pictures, it had press and seal over a painting. I forgot, like where you roll the paint. I don't know. I was going to say a paint bucket, but it's not a bucket. I don't know, where you pour the paint in there, you use the roller, that thing. They had the press and seal over top of that in order to preserve the life of its use. So if you're thinking about it, they even, like in the actual commercial, they even tip it over. You know, like you do in at Dairy Queen when they make your Blizzard or whatever, and they turn it over so that you can see that it's stuck. They do the same thing with the press and seal to prove that their product is going to give you the best for your money. So if you want something that is going to protect and preserve and that is airtight seal, you need something that has a airtight seal. You don't need something that's going to break down and that's going to let all that air get in there. Next thing you know, your bread hard, right? You want something that is going to do what it says it's going to do, right? So if a company says that it's 10 times stronger than foil, hey Casey, thank you. If it says that it's 10 times stronger than foil, how many of us grew up using foil to cover up everything? Like to try and preserve everything. You use what? Foil. Your mama said, go in there and get you some foil and cover up. Right? So if the press and seal is saying that it preserves better than foil, how many of y'all would actually switch over to press and seal versus the foil? Because the aluminum that comes off of the foil, it gets into your food, right? And then there's some people that's like, the whatever's in the press and seal gets into your food too. However, you choose the worst of the two evils, I guess. Right? If you think about it, what is going to, instead of it saying that it's 10 times stronger than foil, what can be 10 times stronger than you interject whatever word you need it to be, right? It keeps things fresher longer. So if you need to keep your relationships fresh, strong, longer, what are you doing to seal it off to prevent outside influences? What are you doing to seal it off to keep that happiness? What are you doing to press? If you don't feel like being intimate, are you pressing? Are you still going to be glad when you do it? Are you going to be grumpy about it? Whatever that might be, right? When you're looking at your goals, your dreams, your visions, your projects that you're working on, what is it that you need in order to keep that thing fresh in your mind, in order to keep you excited about it? Does that make sense, y'all? Okay, it talks about being stackable and spill proof. So stackable, when you're talking about resiliency, you are talking about you have different dreams and different visions. Your dreams don't just stop with one thing. Not, at least not for me. My visions don't stop with just one thing. It's usually multiple things. So I need something that is strong enough as I seal it off and protect it for me to be able to stack multiple things on top of it. And it's still strong enough to endure the weight of the multiple things that I am yet working on in order for me to grow and become better as a person. Does that make sense? So we need things that's not going to spill over easily. If I knock it over, it's not going to... My dream is just going to fall by the wayside. It's going to spill on the floor like spilled milk, and now those dreams are no longer any good. We want to make sure that our dreams, our visions, our hobbies, our passions, our projects are still fresh. We're not going to knock it over. If somebody comes and bumps us or doesn't treat us right or things don't go right, guess what? It's still going to be preserved. It's still going to be kept at a point to where it is, guess what? Because we are glad about what we got. We are pressing towards sealing off that thing, and we are going to, because we have to actually use a little bit of force, so we got to use that finger and seal around the edge of whatever it is that we're using that press and seal to stick to. So we have to use a little bit of force. We have to do what? Like you talked about earlier, we have to take the time out to initiate the growth and the start of the actual sealing, and to protect that thing either from itself or from the outside influence. So what in your life right now is preventing you, right? Or I'm sorry, what in your life right now is actually giving you all three? That's helping you to be glad, that is helping you to press, and that is helping you to seal. For my super, super saved people, don't tell me God, don't do it yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Give me some on the natural side first to help with my people that's not there. Hey, how you doing, Mom? Dr. Nia, thank you for joining. So for my people that are not saved, that are not super spiritual, tell me what in your life right now is helping you to be glad, that is helping you to press, and that is helping you to seal your dreams, your visions, your goals, and your projects. What is helping you to get there? And if you don't know, let me tell you a story about a movie from 1985. I'm showing my age now. But a 1985 movie called The Last Dragon. How many of y'all remember that movie? Let me see some hands up in there. Let me see something. Let me know if y'all know about that 1985 movie, The Last Dragon. Y'all don't make me feel old. Don't do it. Oh, y'all made me feel old. I ain't see nothing. Well, the 1985 movie, The Last Dragon, was about a boy named Leroy that went out. He used to do martial arts, and he wanted to, okay, there we go. So thank you. Somebody knows. So he went out, he wanted to be like Bruce Lee, and his main goal, he moved to New York City to learn how to be and do martial arts like Bruce Lee. He was good, but he was not quite there. And it just so happened that he happened to save a TV personality, I think her name was Laura, from an evil businessman. When he did that, the evil businessman got mad, and he called on the gang, this big gang member who was like the biggest and the baddest gang in Harlem, and his name was Sho Nuff. And Sho Nuff was gonna take care of little old Leroy. So Sho Nuff was like this big, tall, stocky dude. He came in there and they was like, "What's my name?" Like, Sho Nuff. If y'all seen, y'all would know. But Sho Nuff, right? So Sho Nuff was gonna just take down little old Leroy for trying to protect Laura, and it was down to the last bit, and sure enough was just beating up on little Leroy, and Leroy just got to the last little bit, and guess what? All of a sudden he found his glow. His glow up is what helped him to win the fight. And so my question to you is, how many of y'all have lost your glow? You don't know what's keeping you from achieving your goals, and that glow up is going to be the thing that gets you to press through, to really seal off, because he had to dig deep. He had to figure out who he was. So he had to seal off from the fact that he was losing the fight. He had to be glad that the skills that he learned was enough to get him to the point to where he was able to beat Sho'nuff. So the reason I bring all that up is, no matter what's going on, and those things that are trying to talk you out of your dreams, your visions, your dreams and your visions and your projects, whatever that is that's talking to you, that is trying to be the master of you, what are you doing to talk back to it, to remind you that Sho'nuff ain't enough, and that it has no power and no authority to tell you that your dreams and your visions and your goals are not worthy of you glowing up and fighting for it. Sometimes we have to fight for that thing, and we have to be prepared, just like Leroy, practice, practice, practice. But sometimes, even in the battles, it seems like we lose it, but we ain't going to lose the war. It's just a little battle, and it's only temporary, right? So, if the things that we are trying to master still doesn't seem to master until at the very end, does that mean that we've lost? Absolutely not. It just means that it took a little longer in order for us to sure enough know that we still gonna win. All right, so for y'all who didn't know about the 1985 movie, Last Dragon, because y'all making me feel old. What about a 2021 movie? Let's say, what about Raya and the Last Dragon? Huh? Y'all know that one? Y'all that got kids, I know y'all should know. Okay, there we go. Now I got some people that know. All right, so Raya and the Last Dragon, if you do not know, it is a wonderful, wonderful movie. This is what happened when I go over other people's house and watch movies with their kids. So the dragons themselves had to sacrifice. They had to sacrifice themselves in order to save humanity. All right? So then there was evil that was coming through the land, and in order for the dragons to preserve and save humanity, they offered to sacrifice themselves. So they became stone, and what happened? And the people ended up having the opportunity to live. So 500 years later, everybody's been taking up the opportunity to learn how to fight and protect pieces of this spear, or it's like a ball looking thing, but each different culture, so to speak, had a piece of it. So initially when everything happened, everybody took a piece, and then that is what kept a part of them alive, so to speak. So with that, there had to be somebody who was willing to go out and fight. But there was only one person that, on her daddy's dying words, right before the evil came and took his life, he gave it to her, and he said, make sure and do what you've been trained to do. The time has come, and now it's time for you to do what you've been trained to do. You have to imagine how much it had to hurt in order for you to know that the last thing that your daddy told you to do is to do what you've been trained to do. This is exactly why we have to be prepared. And when we're doing all of this training, we're learning how to fight. It is so that we can learn how to do the thing that is something bigger than ourselves, something for someone bigger than ourselves, something bigger than ourselves. So for those of you that have children, I'm sure that you have made these sacrifices, just like the dragon, for your children, for your parents, for your family, for your friends, right? Because it was bigger than you. Needless to say, this little girl, which was a warrior, took it upon herself as a promise to heal the broken land and the division of cultures, right? Different cultures, different beliefs, but she wanted to heal the land. It took a 10-year-old little boy that was a street cook Imagine that. Who was an entrepreneur, just trying to make it, just trying to do what he could in order to make it. A giant man, a baby that was a little girl, and her monkey friends that happened to be thieves. And these were the actual people that helped to save humanity. So if you think about it, you don't have to be perfect to save humanity, to save the thing that you are trying to preserve in order to help out whatever the role is for you to help out in humanity. All it takes is for you to be willing. So it goes to show it might not always look like how you want it to look when it's time for you to get to your dream or your visions or your goals or your projects, right? It may not look, or it may not come at the time that you think it should come, because I'm sure at this point in my life, I never thought that I would be 38 years old and without a baby and without a husband helping me to make my everyday, day-to-day life. Never in a million years would I have thought that. However, there's always somebody that's going to be in your corner that you may need, or that may come and find you in order for you to achieve that you're striving after. So they had to end up all working together in order to save humanity. Who or what will be in your corner in order for you to help you to achieve your goals is my question. When we all work together to save humanity, at what point are you the little boy that was an entrepreneur that was out there on your own just struggling to make it? Are you the big giant man that everybody already looks up to and they already know that you big and strong? Are they going to look to she used to ride on a giant roly-poly. Are you going to be the person that is helping to transport the person to the next place that they need to be in? Whatever the role is, they had to all work together, right? It may be the very people that don't like you, that are trained to hate you, that talk about you, that use you, that misuse you, that abuse you, or just don't trust you. But that may be the very people that help you to save humanity, to save your vision, to save your goals. So I say all of that. Let's recap. So how does Glad Press and Seal help us to be more resilient? Somebody said, be happy in spite of the push beyond how you feel, push until you feel something happens to you at the place you need it, and you'll seal off and block all negativity and things and keep you from being the best version of yourself. You have to block off and separate yourself from toxins and toxic people. Ooh, you just said a mouthful right there. Absolutely. So with that, yes, it helps us to be glad when we have to press or be triggered to secure or prevent something or someone from getting to you, from reaching your goals, your dreams, your visions, and your passions. All right. So we have to leave an impression no matter where we go, no matter what it looks like. And when we are ready for the test of pressure, because there are things that have to go through pressure in order for it to develop into something great, right? Once we pursue and develop that which we wish to achieve, I'm telling you, we can always get there. Just remember to be glad. We got to press and we have to seal the deal. So that's my time. I'm a couple minutes over, but make sure you join me in 2 weeks on 6th September, which is on Labor Day, y'all. So y'all have some time to rest. So I expect to see you 6th September on Labor Day, as we discussed, is my labor in vain? So is my labor in vain? We'll be here the same time, same place. Uh-oh, did I lose y'all? Oh, I did. Let me make sure that y'all can see me. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Sorry, it said pause. Sorry. IG kind of got it. Sorry, y'all. So make sure you join me on 6th September on Labor Day. As we discussed, is my labor in vain? We will be here same time, same place, live. I have been your host, Quita Quee. It has been my intense pleasure to join you. And I am reminding you to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you again. Love, peace, joy, and happiness. Thank you again. And I love y'all. See y'all in 2 weeks. Bye.